Hello and welcome to a Business Minute with Lily Lopez, presented by the South Florida Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, straight from Washington, D.C. at the U.S. Hispanic Chamber's annual legislative summit. With me is Abby Malchow. I'm learning your last name. I know.
Thank you.
It's not easy, but it's a nice name.
Thank
and
you.
Her and I were chatting here because it's such a nice hotel, and the U.S. Hispanic Chamber does so much for Hispanic businesses and for chambers like us. We've been affiliated for 30 years, so we're happy to be here and support all of our businesses here. So Abby, tell me about Amazon. They're members, proud members of the South Florida Hispanic Chamber, and I know you work a lot with Latin America.
Yes.
So tell me what you do.
Yes, Amazon is proud to be a sponsor of the U.S. Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. I lead our small business partnerships and education team, and what we do is we work with different resource organizations to provide educational opportunities to small businesses to help them find growth with Amazon. And we do have a special emphasis on underserved and underrepresented communities to include Hispanic-owned, Latino-owned small businesses.
And when you say underserved, underprivileged businesses, what do you mean by that? Just so the public knows.
Yes, exactly. So for example, I myself am a veteran. A veteran would be an underrepresented group. So we work with veteran-owned businesses, women-owned businesses, Hispanic-owned businesses.
Okay.
And obviously we want to make sure that we're providing that education to different
And the
groups.
education is regarding the services that you provide and that you can provide for their respective businesses?
It's really to help them learn how to sell in our store, because over 60% of independent sellers in our store are small and medium-sized businesses, right?
Okay.
So we recognize that most of the sellers in our store are small businesses within our local communities. So we just want to make sure that we're able to help them find growth with Amazon.
Because that way they're vendors of yours, basically? Is that the way it works?
They're independent sellers.
For independent sellers?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
but that's a great opportunity for
Yes.
a lot of businesses.
Exactly.
We should talk about that. So if you're interested, like if a small business are listening to us, they're interested in getting their product out through Amazon, what do? What is the process?
That is, well, hopefully, hopefully we can provide educational opportunities through organizations such
Like
as
us,
yours, right?
exactly.
Exactly, because you're working directly with small businesses.
With the small businesses.
Exactly.
And we can get that information out there, because that's something huge for
Exactly.
them, the possibilities and the opportunities to grow their business, especially in Latin America.
Exactly.
Which is a huge market.
Yes.
And so important. Oh my goodness.
Yes, and we're also
okay.
building out our programming in Spanish as well this year,
Spanish,
which is very exciting. So.
Of course it is. Of course it is. And I know that you told me that you also were in charge of Latin America. So how was that's why you're in this role. How was that experience?
Well, Latin America is part of the role, but our focus is on the United States. However, we're looking to expand
okay.
geographies like Mexico, for example.
So the focus now is for the small businesses that want to work with you, so long as they're doing things in the United States.
Yes, but we also are working on, we also have education to help them learn how to take products from their home country. Like, for example, let's say they're from Peru or from Mexico. How can they then sell those products here in the U.S.?
Oh, okay. That's what I wanted to know. Okay.
Exactly.
So those people that have businesses over there, so you teach them how to sell here in the United States.
Yes.
This is huge.
Yes.
Oh, so for everybody that's listening to us, I know this is a business minute. We don't have a lot of time, but we'll put some information so that people can click on it when they see the show with regard to all the information. And we're looking forward to having you also maybe in a panel discussion.
Yes.
Because I didn't know about this, you see. there's a saying in Spanish, información es poder, information is power. And just, I know, you think of Amazon, how did this get here? I don't know, how did I get this product? I know you pay, you order online and you get it, but you don't know the process. Who does business with you? How do we get this product? And I think it's fascinating to learn.
I agree.
To learn where it came from.
I agree.
And who are the owners of those small businesses.
Yes.
And that you're also helping them to grow.
Absolutely.
And that's what it's all about. Well, thank you.
Thank you for having me
so
here.
much. Of course. Thank you for being on a Business Minute with Lily Lopez.
Thank
and we'll
you.
see you next week at the same time. Thank you so much.
Bye.